Welcome back to my channel. How are you doing? I'm going to be showing you how to make beaded fringes. There are different types and styles, but I'm going to show you how to make two. We need straw beads, we need strips. In this case, we're going to be using a silver strip. Next, we need needle and thread. I'm going to take the needle and thread and pass it through the strip right now, and then I'll just put it into that thing I just did is to secure it and make it very tight. If you put in the needle straight up, it may just pull off. I'm sinking the beads into the needle that way, and I'll do that until I arrive at the length I want it to be. So if I want 1 inch, if I want 5 inches, if I want whatever, I'll keep doing that till I get exactly what I want. For this particular fringe, I'm working with 18 inches, so I'm going to keep doing that till I arrive at the 18 inches I want. It's also important to know that usually in cases like this, I'll use a different thread so that you'll be able to tell the difference of what I'm doing. But today I use the matching thread because beaded fringe takes a lot of time. So I can't even afford to do a whole line of beaded fringe that I'll end up wasting. So you're going to be seeing similarities in the colors. So just manage it because you may not be able to see it clearly as you should because the colors are the same. These colors that are the same is very ideal because in beaded fringes it's important to use matching thread. That is one area that you cannot escape not using a matching thread. So usually I'll use like either a black thread or something contrasting so you'll be able to see the difference in what I'm doing. But like I explained earlier, I don't have the luxury of that time because doing one line like this takes a lot of time, and I have 5 whole yards to go. Don't worry, you see it by the time I'm done. So I'm measuring right now, and what I have here is 14 inches. So I'm going. It means I have 4 more inches to go to make it 18. So I'm going to continue until I'm able to arrive at the 4 inches that will make it 18 inches. So it's important that you measure from time to time because sometimes you can get carried away and you have extra and then you have to remove it. But the truth is it's not really a big deal, but it's important to measure so that your fringe would be the length you want it to be. So I had 18 right there, but I had 2 extra beads that I had to take out. Was it 2? It was a little bit more than 2, but I had to take some beads out like I was even explaining. So what you're going to do next is you're going to look at the last bead you put in. You're going to you're going to skip it and then put your needle into the next 2 beads. So let me explain again. You pick your needle, you skip the last bead you put in that thread, and then you're going to put the needle through the other 2 after it. I hope that was clear. If that wasn't clear, you can ask me in the comment section. I'll explain better. So I'm going to be tying it right now and haven't tied it. Yeah, so I'll just cut it off, and that's the end of this particular fringe. It's very easy. It's just time consuming, that's all, but it's pretty simple and straightforward. So this is what our 18 inches fringe looks like. So you want to see the 5 yards? Stay with me. I'm going to show you what the others look like. So when you're fixing fringes, what you need to do is you need to measure the distance between what you're going to do. I forgot to mention that at the beginning. So for this particular one, I'm working with the strip, so I'll just put it right there, and the next thing I can do is to put it in middle, that way, or I can just put it on the bigger sides altogether. So the arrangement of the strip will just help me fix the fringe. But if you're using flat surfaces like fabrics, in this case I'm using a bias to show you. What I need to do is I need to identify the distance between each fringe. Am I going to work with 1 inch? If it's 1 inch, I'll just mark it 1 inch there. Use a pen or a fabric. I prefer pen because fabric chalk may just clean before you get there. So you just mark it 1 inch after 1 inch. If you don't want it to be 1 inch, you can make it half inches. So you just mark half inches, that way. Put another half inch there, put another half inch right there, put another half inch. We're going to do that till you get to the end of the bias tape or the number that you want. If you want it even smaller, you can keep going. So I'm going to be showing you how to make the gold version. So this gold version is shorter, and I don't know, I like both of them, but this one is shorter and very pretty as well. So I put in the thread into it and I tied it this way like I did the first one. So next thing I'm going to be doing right now is to be picking my gold straw beads. So these beads are called straw beads. If you go to the market, you can either call it straw beads, or the local market where I buy it from, they call it both straw beads and rice because it looks like rice. So I'm going to put in that inside, but in this case I need just 4 inches, and after the 4 inches I do not intend to just seal it the way I sealed the first one. I'm going to put a little bit of a tweak to it. So I want you to see what I'm going to do at the end of the day. Now I think I've got my 4 inches. Have I? Let's see. Yes, I have. I think I got a little bit more right there. Yes, I got a little bit more. So I'm going to be removing the extra. Sorry, you're not really seeing what I'm doing so much because I had to use the matching thread, but please, I had to do it that way. So next thing I'm going to do is to pick a teardrop bead. I'm going to be using this teardrop bead to seal the bottom. So I'm going to put it in there just so you know how it looks like. So it's going to look that way. It means that the smaller part of the bead is what is going to be on it. So I'm going to putting the needle through the smaller part of this teardrop bead. And then I'm picking my sand bead. These sand beads are the smallest kind of beads. Sand bead. That's what's called. So this is the pack it comes in as well. So we're getting the sand bead, and what we're going to do is after fixing the teardrop bead, we fix the sand bead, and then we skip the sand bead like you're going to see me do right now. I just brought it down so you see it, and then I'll put the needle into the teardrop bead and the last straw bead. I even put it through 2. I'll do that. Make sure it is tight. Just pull it together so you don't have an extra thread hanging out. And this is what it looks like. I'll pick my scissors, I'll cut the thread off, and then I'll tie, and that's the end of this fringe. So I just showed you 2 types of beaded fringe. I hope you like it. For this particular one, I have another 6 yards to go. So this is what the 5 yards of the first one looks like. Now this is heavy. If you're holding 5 yards of 18 inches of beaded fringes, if you are a fitness enthusiast, you may consider using it to gym. Anyways, yeah, it's so much. Like, I mean, I couldn't even open it here because if I did, to put it back may just be a hassle because it took 3 of us to put it together, right? One person can do it, but sometimes because it's heavy, because of the dynamics, you want to be careful as well so the beads don't fall off. That's how I did it that way. So this is what it looks like. And now moving on to the other one. This is what the other one looks like. This one is shorter, and this one was in 6 yards, and of course I made it in a shorter time. So this is the whole, I was trying to arrange it right here. This is what it looks like when we're trying to fix it, and this is how it is put together. Okay, enough. So these are other colors of fringes. That's 18 inches of white and light pink. This is another one. This is about 8 inches of the bead that has a teardrop. It's also available in several colors. Kindly ask your questions in the comment section. Bye.